pursue an opponent's mental edge in such a way, attack their synapses, so to speak.
Yeah.
You're not only doing damage to them in the sets, you're softening them up for their next encounter. And so I'm curious to see how Ascro responds, especially because, you know, that's a lot of what we were talking about, that wisdom, that knowledge, that steadfast presence in the face of kind of danger, which players like Peli and players like Lugi happily just have built into them fundamentally. Things that Ascro and ToeJam are looking to learn, looking to build, looking to develop. And so this is a real do or die for Ascro. Frankly, I have a lot of faith considering how much international force they've had to deal with. So we're going to see if they can take down Peli.
Yeah, and I have to say, look, it's interesting. This is losers finals of one of the biggest events of the year in the UK. And these two, as we were saying earlier, infamously met on that fated UFA pools match.
Oh, yes.
When Ascro had been questionably seeded, or at least had not necessarily got the results to kind of convince the seeding team.
Undiscovered, some might say.
Undiscovered, let's say, yeah. Whereas now, of course, I think these two are playing each other in different circumstances. I'm not quite sure of the set history since that first meeting, but I do think that we were talking about the sort of experience that maybe a player like ToeJam was lacking on the big stage. It feels like Ascro, in a relatively short career, has amassed a pretty good proportion of experience already, you know. Going against, you know, players like nearly taking down people like Siski at Regen, nearly taking down a lot of other excellent players. Oh, hang on. Oh, the top. Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right, buddy.
Okay.
I see your tricks.
And that is the test for Ascro, man. It's like, I think the personality type, the kind of player you're dealing with between Lugi and Peli, it's kind of, it's different sides of the coin here. It's like Peli's not going to be trying to make you feel silly. He's just trying to win.
At the risk of demonetizing the stream.
Okay. JJ.
He's distracted, it's fine. I'm a big fan of how a lot of our kind of new gen talent have just really lent into just being pieces of shit. As in the sense, like, you've got these... Oh my goodness, great tech coming out from Peli. Just in the sense that you've got this young blood, you've got Lugi, Ascro, Maze Beans, like, players like this who've really lent into kind of the meme of the fact. Even ToeJam is a great example of a rising star who's someone who is very big personality, quite like, not aggressive in any sense, all of them perfectly lovely and perfectly nice, but just a little bit on the mental edge. You've got to take everything you can get in a game like this. I'm a massive proprietor of Smash being a mental game, and I think the fact that they're all willing to taunt and to push and to use music and physicality and just push and just wipe out their opponent's brains is an incredible thing. And I think Ascro is in very safe hands. And I think Smash UK in general is seeing something quite fantastic. As we're looking pretty even right now, it is Ascro with the lead. Someone who's very confident playing against Sonic, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, the test for Ascro was always going to be after that sort of slightly tricky set, let's say, against Lugi with that Bowser. But then Ascro, like, starting off with the taunt. Yeah, look, I'm not going to read into it too much, but I think Ascro is feeling more confident, has the lead so far here. And he's just basically chasing Peli down here. You know, has that small percent lead in theory. You can sort of sit back, but Ascro's happy to kind of apply a bit of stage pressure. Oh, drop shield. Okay, not enough though.
Quite enough.
Not quite. Oh, a nice sort of aggressive rising bear there from Peli. Spinning in the corner. You can't do that forever. You've got to let go of the button at some point, and you see Ascro here. I think Ascro, Ness players in general, they love small Battlefield and PS2 for the sort of dancing around the platform.
Just seen 3 dash attacks in a row.
Yep.
My goat.
Oh, back throw, yeah, always going to
catch.
Yeah, some characters, 140 might not be enough, but Ness is going to be more than enough. And that is a pretty decent lead here from Ascro. And look, that is the test for Peli. It's about sort of, I think Peli feels like for a lot of what I've seen so far, playing from the lead quite a lot, but the play from behind is a different beast.
I think there's a really interesting game plan coming out from Ascro here, and it's a wonderful knowledge of kind of engagement range that I think a lot of people wouldn't quite respect. I think a lot of people in this scenario as Ness would run to the other side and kind of PK fire and throw out projectiles and kind of jumping PK fire and land and run back and try and buy space. Instead, what you can see Ascro doing is running back, taking space, using dash attack and forward air, because while it doesn't have the range, it still has the same sort of blocking potential for an engage, and so it's much less committal, but instead still does the same job, where you can stop him from sprinting in if he wants to, but if he chooses not to, you still have enough range and enough sort of momentum to be able to fight back against something else. It's a great sort of knowledge, as unfortunately we are going to get snuffed out right there. Peli sort of feeling himself, but we're still holding on with Ascro. A nice little lead, but it might not last too long there, Moke.
Yeah, Peli definitely getting more of a foothold in this game. It wasn't sort of any sort of big, long, extended advantage state like this is now, to be fair. It's just sort of little nickels and dimes. And look, Peli, in the blink of an eye, has nearly caught the percent in full. And you see Ascro needs to compose himself. Again, so that slight autopilot there, it felt like, from the sort of retreat into the platform going for the PK fire, Peli was ready for it. I think Peli's really got a good download here on everyone he's played just so far in terms of when they sort of want to kind of go for their bread and butter options, when they want to kind of go with all reliable. But Peli still, from the start of the game, Ascro had such a strong lead to begin with that it still feels like a bit for Peli to catch up on, but Peli's been so consistent at getting damage and finding kill confirms, but the clock is ticking, I have to say already, and there's a conversation to be had about whether to approach, but Ascro's going to have to at some point now because he has lost the lead.
He has. Things are looking a little bit dicey. You can still see, looking for platforms, you can see Ascro kind of retreating to them, trying to find sort of like, trying to stay off the same level. You can see that PK fire being battered back right there. Such a dangerous option. High reward, of course. The risk at this point just isn't worth it. Make a way back, roll back, trying to get center. As a back air is fantastic. I just can't imagine we find an edge guard here. Wonderful back air. Just do it again.
Yeah, Peli there was, we were saying he's been threading the eye of the needle there. He nearly made it through in terms of spacing that back air. Spaced it well enough to not get hit by the first one, but was in enough N-lag to be hit by the second. And Ascro there started off really strong, and it felt like Peli was wheedling his way back in. But it wasn't enough. Okay, Ascro cleaning up. Ascro on the board.
Incredible knowledge coming out from Ascro there to be able to win in that interaction. Very, very strong stuff. You can see why this upset may have come through, and frankly, Peli has cleaved through so many underdogs. At this point, I think they've got an iron mental, but that might just be a little bit of a crack.
Yeah, I have to say, look, we were talking at the start, I think probably in the unfounded, the unrealistic view, let's say. Maybe Peli might not sort of be doing that well at this tournament in terms of, you know, sort of being slightly out of practice. Has made it to top 3, I think, in pretty, like, pretty convincing fashion. But we're talking about he's been slaying underdogs. In principle, I think he might be the underdog in this, at least on paper, in some respect.
You're absolutely
recent
right.
history. So
It's
a different contest.
Guys are going to see if the old king can bring down the new blood.
See Peli. Peli so far, look, he's lost the first game, and he's kind of been playing, you know, so far this game. Spent a minute being like, okay, let me figure out what I need to do here. A bit more passive, a bit more defensive. Ascro's getting a bit of damage here and there. Oh, and he let go of ledge, and even Peli's like, what the hell? What the hell was that?
This is why it's honestly why I enjoy Peli as a player so much. I think there's plenty to be said about Sonic as a character. Frankly, all of that conversation, I think at this point, is at least a year old. I think that's never really part of the conversation at this point. But what I really enjoy about Peli, it always brings me back to this this Reddit, this Twitter thread that was maybe just, I think it was just after VCA. There was people asking Peli various questions about their playstyle and what they did. I don't know if he was traveling or doing an AMA. And someone was like, hey, why is your King DDD so much better than literally every player who has ever existed? And he said one word, and he just said, conditioning. No emotion.
We call
nothing.
that fundies.
We call that fundies.
We call that fundies, yeah. Peli just says, I'm better, bro.
But I think that's a nice little window into what makes Peli such a forceful, consistent character, is being able to collect this information, collate it, process it, and then put it into action so consistently. I think it's what makes it so dangerous as a lovely little taste of pineapple. Any pina colada fans in the audience, as we are forced onto the back foot right there. Still a little bit rough for Peli, but honestly, I think they're more than happy to play with patience.
Yeah, Peli still bleeding a little bit here, but that is the explosive potential of Peli and Sonic, pretty much in a nutshell. Kind of playing that more sort of passive game, as we keep saying, but also like having that explosive potential. You know, it's a tough ask for Ascro here. You've got to react pretty quickly to know when you've got to time the tech to be able to make it back. But at the same time, Ascro here, he's sort of chasing Peli down, and he's throwing out a couple of hitboxes, but he's chasing Peli down mostly to try and get a bit of stage control more than he is to kind of force the issue of getting damage. I say that as he literally runs into a spin dash. But so far, yeah, it feels like Ascro's sort of knowing when to run in and knowing when to hold off. And he's trying to find moments with, you know, Peli trying to get out of the corner. You're maybe trying to catch a jump read with that back air. But then gets the PK fire this time. Okay, we're going to see another yo-yo. I think we might. No, not this time. But Peli is going to jump over, and Peli does get center stage. Ascro using those platforms so well. Nice little aggressive up air, but the second one maybe a little bit too aggressive, doesn't get punished. Here we go. Both these players trying to find a bit of a place, trying to hold space. You know, I've heard.
Just got 2.
I've heard people have been listening to Defying Gravity and they've been holding space. I heard they've been listening to Peli spin in the corner, and I'm holding something.
Look, it ain't easy being green. However, that's from Peli. Unfortunately, Ascro more than comfortable on this screen, as we are going to force ourselves back into a bit of a string, forced off to the stage. It could be a kill if we're not being careful.
Yeah, that is the test for Peli. Look, it is a really difficult recovery sometimes. You know,
that game of chicken between like the back airs and the yo-yo is so intense. I'm like, this is so messed up.
Yeah, because Peli sort of wants to try and do the kind of best of both worlds, get that spacing right. Oh, gets perfect spacing on the up smash there. Yeah, I think that is it. Ascro sort of getting more damage from a lot of the advantage state, but Peli holding on.
Holding
Ascro,
roll distance.
So disciplined here, getting really nice damage here. The sort of little stray hits, the small B&Bs, not huge combos, getting a lot of damage here. 88%.
Incredible guard coming out from Ascro, holding that top platform and still managing to call out every option. It's just incredible. As we do get the drag down, not much on it. You can see Peli here has just decided that, right, now is the time that I'm just going to lock in, stay far away, find an approach action, find an approach angle, I should say. You can see Ascro holding these top platforms, trying to make it so that he's always on a different level every time Peli tries to make an attempt at an approach option. Just drops down, jumps up, drops down, jumps up, keeping it nice and unpredictable, Moke, as we are forced out. Is this it?
The taunt, the jump is gone. Oh, the Ascro, he was so busy showing Peli his base.
Stressful, man.
He was too busy showing him the baseball bat. He forgot to pull out the yo-yo. Oh, the Ascro, man. Ascro, man. Oh, gosh.
Beat out by the Nair.
They're scrapping right now. Oh, God. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness. The up air, not quite enough. There's the forward air, and that's it. Oh, my goodness. He had it. He dropped it. He picked it back up. He threw it. He ran. He catched it. My goodness.
Yeah, Peli, man. There was a few moments where, like, it was, I'd love to see the spacing. We were in the individual pixels there from some of those moves hitting, and Ascro nearly getting punished there big time, but does enough. Just says, you know what, forward air. Forward air. That was enough mid-stage 140. And Ascro up 2-0 here. Now, that is something. We were saying about who's the underdog here. It's certainly looking like Peli in this set. He's going to have to do reverse 3-0.
Tables have
to
turned.
move on.
Peli more than comfortable on the greens.
It's interesting. I mean, the stage pick, I mean, it makes sense. Look, PS2 can be a good stage for both these characters. I feel like you were saying before, Ascro's movement around platforms has been so good. And it's kind of allowed Ascro to kind of get out of jail sometimes, with Peli not being able to get too much damage on. It feels like they're both kind of winning neutral. I'd love to see the exact sort of figures, but I'd say a relatively even rate. But Ascro's punish game, Ness is a character, that is kind of throws out so much damage. PK fires, back airs, you're on fire and you're getting kicked in the face. It's not great. And you're getting yo-yoed. That's 15%.
The momentum is here. Do you see that from Ascro? Holds up the fingers, says, hey, shut everyone. Hey, hold on.
Oh, uno mas here. One more game here. He's made a great start. This third one.
This is a deadly possession for Peli. My goodness, Ascro with so much momentum right now. Can't quite find it, but the spot dodge is through, keeping the pressure on. There's the fire, tries to find a jump out in panic. But Peli's not one to succumb to the pressure.
Yeah, Ascro here is playing like someone who really is, we're saying, a seasoned professional. All that experience that we were lauding Peli for, it feels like Ascro's got that in abundance in a relatively short playing career as well.
Very short playing career.
So I'm going to have a glass of Coke Zero in reminder of the fact that the Ascro did not exist
when
Coke Zero. Before Coke Zero. That's ridiculous. All right, Peli there, getting an up smash.
I've got Pokemon that are older than this kid. I have a Jolteon from Fire Red that is... It's all right.
Shout out to that Jolteon.
Shout out to that Jolteon.
Yeah. Right. He's been chilling on that cartridge.
He has. I should check on him, actually. My Pokemon bank worn out a while ago. It's like a Nintendo. He's probably starving.
I was thinking about the Nintendo. Do you think about the Nintendogs from 10, 15 years ago?
I try not
Where
to
are
think
they now?
about them.
No, you should.
Oh,
really God.
Oh!
Meanwhile! Meanwhile! Ascro there, look. Peli had to go for a sort of aggressive offstage situation then. Ascro said, oh, okay. Nice. I guess I get a stock. Hey.
Absolutely baited in. Surely we're not looking at a 3-0. Peli just trying to find a way back in. This is the annoying part where you have to start getting creative as Sonic, finding these ways in. But it looks like Ascro has just downloaded everything Peli could possibly throw at him.
Okay, yeah. Great little back air from Peli here, but is it going to be too little too late? We'll have to wait and see. It feels like Ascro's neutral and his stage positioning and just stage control in general has been so good this set. It feels like Peli, in some sense, hasn't done loads wrong, but it feels like just the small margins have definitely gone in Ascro's favor. And that is a testament to how well Ascro has kind of played the mid-range. Sort of knows when to like, sort of throw out buttons. You know, like Ness is a scrappy character, has some disjoints, has some pretty good frame data, great aerial speed.
What is he doing?
But he's just pressing buttons. He is just pressing buttons. He's still just pressing buttons. What's going on?
What is he?
He's just jumping. He's just
just
standing
looking
there.
for the back throw?
He's just standing there menacingly.
My goodness, the quick play mantra is wild here. Just trying to find the back throw. Just
Okay. Oh, this.
what
okay.
is? Okay. What is he?
Just
what is he
dangling.
doing?
Just dangling.
He
Look,
wants a clip.
Ascro doing something. He's trying for something. Okay. A great crowd from the audience. Paraphrase, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm curious. He's an artist, but I don't know quite what he's painting.
He's a troubled artist right now because
Yes.
he is giving Peli, you know, a little bit here. And Peli will take it, man. Peli is not the kind of player who's going to give up until the set is fully over. It is a full stock here, but as we've seen many times before, even in these sets with Peli is good at bringing it back from the depths. And Ascro hyping himself up. He's nodding to himself. In and out of game. And you can see why not quite. Okay,
There's just no coming back, surely, as we do make it back to stage. The dash attack after the get-up. Wonderful timing to come out, and at this point, we just slow it down. Again, we're playing with our food, man. What are we doing?
I mean, I respect it. Okay. I mean, look, you're 2-0 up. You got 139%. Fair play to Ascro, man. He's trying to finish it off. It might be enough. Peli's DI's been so strong this match, but he beats a yo-yo on return. And Ascro was nodding and saying okay, and he was right to think so. He's played okay. 3-0 and a handshake.
Forgive me, Ascro. I was unfamiliar with your game. I thought that you had been damaged or taken aback by Lugi's disrespect, but instead you just absorbed it and you used it against your poor